Good morning again, guys. I apologize. These are a couple days behind here. So this is something that was done in class on Wednesday. I'm going to try and get caught up here, but I just haven't been able to get these videos made like I'd like. So Wednesday, if you weren't here or if you've missed this, we did this coin flip jeans activity. I'm going to upload this. You'll find it uploaded with this video. And you'll find two pages. You'll find this page on the back is a drawing section, and then this page which has the traits that the baby's going to get. And this goes along with our discussion on genes. So if you haven't done so, make sure you go back and watch all the videos that I've done so far about heredity and about genes, or else you won't probably understand this. As a reminder, whenever a parent has a child, here's mom, and here's dad, and they have a certain gene for a trait. Let's say that the gene is tall and short, like taller than 6 feet. So we'll say tall is represented by a capital T, because it's the dominant trait, and short is represented by a lowercase t. So let's say that mom is short, so she's recessive, and dad is tall, and let's say he's dominant recessive. Remember that when they have a child, for every single trait, mom gives one of those two alleles and dad gives one of those two alleles for every gene. So for this one, if mom gives this and dad gives this, the child would have that, and they'd be tall because the dominant always goes first. If mom gives this and dad gives, if mom gives the first one and dad gives the second one, the child would end up being short. If mom gives the second one and dad gives the first one, you get a tall child and a short child here. But they're just giving one of those alleles. And it's completely random which one they give. So we're going to model that with this assignment today. So as you can see here, you have, and by the way, ignore these instructions at the top about using 2 pennies and marking on them. You really just need 1 penny. Right here, you'll see several traits like face shape, eye shape, hairstyle. For each of these traits, you have mom's gene and you have dad's gene. Now, to keep it simple, I've made both of them dominant recessive. All you need to do to figure out the child's gene is to get yourself a coin, a penny or a quarter or whatever that has a heads and a tails. And then you're going to flip the coin once for mom for this trait, for face shape, and you're going to flip it once for dad for this trait. And by the way, this paper you'll want to probably print off. I guess you could do it because you'll need to draw on it. I guess you could type into it and submit it if you'd like. And then you could do like a digital drawing on the back if you know how to do draw tools on the computer and insert it there. That's fine, but it's probably easier if you just print it, fill it out, draw and color it, and then submit it to me when you return. But you'll take a coin, you'll flip it for mom. If you flip heads, then you would circle the first allele. And if you flip tails, then you'd circle the second one. So let's say that I flip for mom and I get tails. So on my paper, I circle the second allele. And then for dad, I flipped the coin a second time. Now for his gene, see which one he gives. Let's say I flip heads. So I circle the first allele. Okay. Got tails for mom and heads for dad. Well, that means the child's genotype is going to be a dominant from dad and a recessive from mom. And remember, I always put the dominant first. So over here, I'm going to put capital C, lowercase c. Okay. Same thing for eye shape. I flip the coin again, once for mom, once for dad. Let's say that I get tails for mom and tails for dad. So I circle the second allele for each. And now I have recessive for the genotype for the child. Then I do it for hairstyle. Then I do it for smile, etc., etc. Now for phenotype, remember that phenotype means how the gene is expressed, how it is shown in the person, what this gene ends up looking like. So on this paper, you will find the possible phenotypes. So, for example, for face shape, the dominant phenotype is to have a circle-shaped face, and the recessive phenotype is to have an oval-shaped face. Well, since my child got a dominant recessive, remember that means the dominant overpowers the recessive, so the dominant is what's shown, and so the child is going to end up with a circle face. Since I got recessive for the eye shape, well, then they would get the recessive trait, which would be blast eyes. And I'm going to continue that for all the traits. Once I've gotten all those here and written the phenotype, circle face, blast eye, etc., then on the back, I'm going to draw a nice portrait of my child and color it based on all those traits that you find here. You'll want to name your baby, and your name and period should go here where it says proud parent. Although once you draw these, maybe you'll be an ashamed parent because these will end up a little bit ugly. Some of them end up pretty cute, actually. So you'll put your name and period here. Draw your baby here. Now, a couple other things that you'll notice on this that might throw you off. When you get down to the bottom, what's different here, sorry, it's backwards, so it's kind of hard to point, is 2 capital letters, right? 2 different capital letters. You've never seen this before. You've always seen dominant recessive of the same letter. This is something called incomplete dominance. It means that sometimes 2 things are both dominant. Both of them are strong. And so one doesn't hide the other. Instead, if they're both present, they both get expressed. This is how you get mixtures. Like if mom has brown hair and dad has red hair, and you end up with auburn hair, a mixture of the 2, well, that's probably incomplete dominance where both share. So you'll do the same thing. For heads, you'll circle the first letter, and for tails, the second letter. So let's say that I flip tails and then heads. So the child's genotype will be YR or RY. Either way is fine. Okay. When I look at my list, there's a few possibilities. If I got RR, that's 2 of the red genes, this child would have a red nose. If it was YY, the child would have a yellow nose. But if I get one of each, RY or YR, well, then both of them get expressed, and you're going to get a mixture. So in this case, red and yellow make orange. So my child would have an orange nose. Finally, the last thing you'll see here is the gender down at the bottom here. Now it says to flip a coin, but I will actually just let you choose. So the phenotype is where you'll write whether it's a boy or a girl. And the genotype, if it's a boy, the genotype is always XY. And if it's a girl, it's always XX. So you choose which one of those you want it to be. I'll just let you choose. You could flip a coin if you want, heads for boy, tails for girl or something, but XY if it's a boy and XX if it's a girl. Again, then you'll draw your picture on the back and color it and submit this to me when you return. All right, that's all for today. Again, this is from Wednesday, and I will continue to try and catch up posting things if you've missed Thursday and Friday.